if you are a Degrassi fan, you had a pretty great summer because you had 6 weeks of new episodes from Monday to Thursday. Exactly. 6 whole weeks of Degrassi, The Boiling Point. So if you haven't seen it yet, then don't watch this video. Spoilers in alert. So here we go. One of the things that I like is that the name of the episodes are now named after hit songs that you probably heard within the last decade. And while I do like the 80s, they're long gone, they're not coming back. So it's good that they made that change up. Also, I really like how they do the part 1 and part 2. And it's good because if you're any fan, you know that you don't get your part 1 and your part 2 unless they're mixed together as a season premiere or a season finale, generally spanning the course of an hour. In this case, because there are new episodes every day. In this case, because they were new episodes every day. They had their part 1 on one day and their part 2 on the next day, which isn't bad. I hope that they continue that kind of format for the when it returns October 8th, but it's pretty doubtful. Now, I do like the character development. It was great to see all the old actors again come back and give us an even greater show. Holly J is becoming one of my favorite characters. I think that she's that she's growing even more substantially than she has been the season before and the season before that. So this is a great time for her to shine, as well as her relationship with Sav, which is a bit rocky. Both of them just came out of relationships with people that they really did like, and well, I guess they found love within each other, because let's face it, it's not Degrassi unless someone hooks up with someone who's totally unexpected to hook up with. Crack pairings are always the best in my opinion. Now, it's also good to see some of the characters branch off to a new circle and group of friends. In this case, Allie and Claire. They're always besties, but it was good to see Claire hang out with a new group of people, specifically her new boyfriend Eli, Eclair. I love that pairing name. And the F to M transgender Adam, which Degrassi never had before, so that was a new twist to the show. I was a bit surprised to see Allie hanging back out with Jenna, considering how Jenna stole her best friend's ex-boyfriend. But I guess she got it just desserts because she's pregnant and KC wants nothing to do with it. So while I laugh at that, it's also a bit sad too. Of course, this topic is gonna rear its head back in the back when it returns October 8th. I'm almost positive that she's gonna get a miscarriage, but we'll see about that. Also, Riley came out, and it hasn't been the easiest transition for him so far. I'm sure that's going to be another issue when school comes back into session, but good for him. You know, good character development on his part. Who else is evolving that I totally missed? Yeah, no one else that really comes to mind at this moment that's really made a big turnabout. Dave, I guess, is more appreciative of the friends that he is hanging out with. Specifically Connor and I forget the other guy's name, but I'll probably remember it when the season comes back. Corey Lee is now the new media immersion teacher, which isn't a bad thing because we've been seeing Mrs. Simpson do it for so many years. It's time to get someone else. And Corey Lee, who also plays an instant star, so that's a good new role for her. She's excited about that. Now, how the season ended. It ended on a high note, like any Degrassi season would. The night in Vegas. Apparently a fight between Eli and Fitz, because there was this whole big war between the two of them. One just didn't know when to call it quits, and at this point it's really hard to know. It's easy to see who started, but it didn't have to finish the way that it did. But of course, if it didn't, then it wouldn't be Degrassi, right? And then overall, Mrs. Simpson seems to be really upset at the whole thing. And I don't mean just upset, I mean disappointed and just thoroughly furious. And things seem like they're changing up for when it returns October 8th. With uniforms and new rules and regulations and watchdogs and everything like that. Because I guess the students at the school really just can't be trusted. And Mrs. Simpson's relationship with the students may change entirely. I really didn't think that he took his principal job so seriously, because the whole relationship between student and teacher, they just seem to merge together to be friends. But now's the time where Mrs. Simpson's really going to have to separate from all of that. Because when you really think about it, at the end of the day, your principal has to be your principal and to enforce law among the school. And he has to do what's fair, not to be seen as popular by the students. This is especially true when Adam and Drew's mother cracked down on him and Coach Armstrong throughout the series of The Boiling Point. When Drew got harassed by Riley and the others because Drew almost spilled the beans that Riley was gay. And then again when Adam was getting bullied by Fitz and Bianca. And yeah, so Mr. Simpson he may just step up his whole game. So that is going to be intense. Yeah. Also, some things that I was disappointed to see. I'm so disappointed to see the people that I still see in the opening credits that are useless. And when I mean useless, I mean they do nothing. They really don't evolve the plot. This has nothing to do with the actors or actresses that portray the characters. It's just the characters themselves. Now, while I am glad that I'm glad that Anya and Holly J are no longer friends, or at least not as close as they once were. They're just too different. They want two different things. They want many different things, and they just can't find within each other. So Anya goes off with Leia, and Holly J with Jane a season before, and now with Fiona, who is pretty much more her speed in terms of their ambition and progress. But that whole Pompeii project kind of brought them closer together in the sense that, like, Holly J and Anya will no longer be close friends, but if they ever need each other for anything, they're always there. Because her mom has cancer, and Anya's gonna need all the support that she really can be, that she can get. So if Holly J can provide that, then that's the mark of a good friend, even though that they're not as close as they once was. But I really want to see Leia go. She really serves like nothing. I mean, she's judgmental. While she's a good friend to Anya, she pretty much dogged Mia back in season 8, if you remember. She put her business out there and gossiped about it to Holly J, and lied about what was it, her dad being like knowing. I think it was. Who was it? Panic at the Disco or Fallout? No, Fallout Boy. I think it is. But she's supposed to be leaving after the 24th episode. So even though I'm sad to see Judy Zhao go, I am not sad to see Leia go. And why is Shantae still there? Doesn't she know that now that Danny's gone, that there's really no need for her to be in the show? I mean, what does she serve a real purpose with her little anti-grapevine, gossiping about everyone else? Does she still do that? Okay, Dave, he's getting up there in terms of development, and I guess hanging out with his friends Connor and, I forget the other guy's name, but his name will come back to me when the show comes back on. So basically, everything in the Shark in the Water video has basically come to pass. Drew and Allie, I guess, are separated at this point since he hooked up with Bianca in the boiler room, and who knows, maybe Allie may realize that she doesn't have to always be noticed by guys to get attention. Maybe she'll figure that out. And I'm really glad how Claire stood up to Jenna when Jenna thought that she got implants. And but all three girls seem to be in a more or less a good place at this point. They'll probably all be close friends again when the show comes back on this fall. So that we just have to wait and see for. But otherwise than that, if I miss any of the points, I will talk about them when Degrassi starts back over again. But that was just my review of The Boiling Point. It was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed this summer of 6 whole weeks of new Degrassi episodes. And get ready, because it's only going to get more intense. I'm talking about school uniforms and watchdogs and people getting pregnant and sluts and hoes and people just doing all bunch of stuff, and it's Degrassi, baby. Let's just roll with it. Oh, also, rumor, Shanae Grimes and or Nina Dobrev might come back as Darcy or Mia for this season, but I hope so. So here's hoping. So all Degrassi fans, I hope that you found this video well, and yeah, I will see you October 8th. Well, after October 8th when the season finishes, and then you'll see me again. Peace out.